Welcome to Rick's Corner, brought to you by Old School Labs, the brand I trust and the only one I put my name to. Use my code drasin12 on the link below.
Welcome to Rick's Corner. The man, the myth, the legend. Now on with the show.
Welcome to Tough and Tender. I'm your host, Rick Drasin. And today we're going to talk about the tough things in life that come about and the tender way of handling them through a masculine point of view. You don't always have to be tough to handle things. You do a tender side of yourself and you can probably get a lot more done. So today we're going to take the tender side and find ways to solve solutions that happen in everyday life with marriages, with couples, with families, with kids, with people on the street. You name it, there's always a challenge. There's always a tough side to handle something, and there's always a tender side. So we're going to give you the tender side. And with me today is the beautiful Ina Tuller. I'm so glad you're here.
Oh, thank you.
Are you happy about?
Glad to be here.
Are you glad to be here?
Yes, I'm glad to be here.
With the Rick?
With the Rick.
Okay.
Always.
Okay. Good. All right. So we're going to talk about financial challenges between couples, whether you're married, if you're dating, if you're in a household with kids. You know, you always have financial things to think about. It comes every day. Even when you think everything is paid. I mean, I've been there. Everything is paid. Everything is done. There's a bill in the mail. Oh my God. What do you do with it? It's an issue. So we're going to have different questions that Ina's going to ask me. And we're going to try to find some solutions that work for you, that have worked for me, that have worked for her, and we'll see where we go from there. How's that sound? Sound good? Let's get started. What's the first question, Ina?
The first question is from a dating couple.
Okay.
And here's number one.
Okay.
I always pay for dinner when I go out with my girlfriend. She makes a lot more money than I do, but she still never offers to pay. That feels unfair. Your tender thoughts?
You want my tender thoughts on that? Well, the thing with that is that it doesn't matter how much money somebody makes. You know, it's a give and take situation. You and I go out, I pay for dinner. I don't have a problem with that.
Sometimes I pay too.
Well, that's my whole point. Sometimes there's a reciprocation where the other person says, hey, let me treat you tonight. That's always a nice gesture. I don't count on it. Nobody should count on it. But I would do the same for somebody else. If someone takes me out and does something for me nice, I always want to do something nice for them in return. Now, you don't have to compare, you don't have to compete, you don't weigh who makes more money, who has this, who has that, because the relationship should not be a contest. There's no contest about who has more. You're a couple, you have it together. So it always averages it out, and you shouldn't take a number and say, okay, let's add up the tally of what I paid, let's add up the tally of what you paid. I think I paid more than you did, so you got to come across with this. This is not how life works. You do things out of the kindness of your heart. So if she makes more money than you, I'm sure you're getting it back in other ways. You know, there's other ways. And so let it go at that. Don't make a complaint about it. Just go along with the program, and that's the tender side of handling it.
Absolutely. I mean, sometimes you don't even know where it comes from, and suddenly you get a little present. Suddenly you get a little treat.
Yep.
And that's a thank you for treating for dinner. It's always an equality and a good relationship.
It can also come in the way of bedroom slippers.
Yes, and it did.
And it did, exactly. So, I mean, you never know where it's going to come from, but don't expect it. You know, it shouldn't be an issue. Okay, what was the next question?
Okay, my partner makes 6 figures and I am nowhere near that in my pay. Should we still split the bills 50-50, or if you make more, do you pay more?
6 figures, huh? Depends on what the figures look like. If they're Playboy models, you're in good shape. Yeah, it depends on your agreement in the beginning of your relationship. You know, if you're going to split something 50-50, one makes more, you know what, that's just the way it is. Your deal was 50-50, you go 50-50. I don't think because one earns more should pay more. I don't think that's the issue there. I think that's just the way it is. I mean, what happens if you make more money? You're going to pay more than them? You'll probably find a way out of it. So 50-50, it's the same thing again. You give and take. It shouldn't be labeled, because that will destroy. Don't you think that'll destroy a relationship?
It could destroy the relationship. I think if there is a problem to come up with the 50%, then the conversation needs to occur, and you guys need to agree on what's going to be next. Maybe for a time being, until you make that a 50, you know, the other side can pay more.
Yeah.
Until it turns around, or you know, pick up more chores for that part of the money.
You mean like sweep out the garage?
Sweep up the garage, yes, and dust the shelves and walk the dog. And
I do that.
I know. So that pays. That pays with sweat.
It does pay.
Same thing with sometimes in the business. You know, some people work for sweat.
It's true. There shouldn't always be a label of a dollar
It's not
sign.
always dollars.
Of course. Okay, what's the next question?
Well, the next question is actually going to married couples. You ready for those? There are some challenges.
I've been
when
there
you get
before, so I
married,
guess I
too.
can answer that.
I think there's more challenges when you're married.
Yes.
Okay, so we always fight about money. I try to be really careful with our funds. Spending money on the kids really drives her crazy. At a loss here. What would you recommend?
Well, that seems one of the major causes of divorce is money in young couples. They
Any
fight
couples.
in any couples, I guess. Yeah, in any couples. But I'm young, so I can relate to the young part of it.
Absolutely.
So, you know, the spouse is working, the other one's not. It's bringing more money. You're sitting on your ass at home spending it. You've got to have some sort of an agreement there. You've got to sit down at night with a little family meeting or talk with each other and say, okay, where are we going to spend this money? We have these things. These are priorities. These have to be taken care of before anything else. Aside from that, now you're going to have kids. Kids need things. They have school books. They have clothes. They're growing constantly. They're growing out of shoes. Every 6 months they need a new pair of shoes. You know, they need new pants. These are essential things that you have to pay for. Now, if you don't have any kids, you still have bills and you still have a savings account. I've always thought that take some of that money and put it away. You know, I've always taken a good percent of my income and socked it away and socked it away and socked it away for times when you don't have an income, because people lose jobs, economy's bad, and you say, oh my God, I don't have a paycheck, I have no money. Well, if you put it away, you'll have some money.
Well, the bottom line is you have to have a budget.
Right.
You have a budget, you know how much you bring in, you know pretty much how much you need to spend, and you go from there. And everything that's left over, you put in savings, and that goes for vacations or fun or clothes or unexpected expenses. But budget is the key.
Well, you're a businesswoman. You have a big business. You know what budgets work because you work them all day long, and you can apply those to your personal life as well.
Yeah, budgets and projections.
And projections. But some people don't know how to budget. They just have never brought up. There's situations, and I've had family members, they'll find $10 on the floor, and they'll go and they'll buy something right away. I find that $10, I take it home, I still have it. I put it away. I put it away. You never know when you're going to need it. It's, you know, money burns a hole in people's pockets. When they have money in their pocket, they go and they spend it.
Yeah.
So there's got to be some sort of a limit to where that's going to go. And if
Well, you can make your money work for you. Don't put it in your pocket. Put it in the bank. Put it in mutual funds and let it grow.
Exactly.
You don't need to do anything, and it's just going to grow for you.
Exactly. What's your
So-
next question?
My husband is a tidewad. Is that a word?
Yeah, it's a tight one.
Okay. I know he works hard for his money, but he always seems fearful that he doesn't have enough. How do I help him get past this? I love him very much.
I don't think that's a fault, you know, of him. I think that in when you're brought up, I was brought up a certain way that I put money away. I saw my parents had some, and then as I saw my mom get older, she didn't have much, and she liked to live very meagerly because she was afraid she wouldn't have any. So it kind of instilled in me to always put money away, put money away, put money away, and I wouldn't spend it. I wouldn't buy myself something. If I saw it, I'd go back 3 times and look at it, and I think, do I really need it? And I'd talk myself out of it. And my son does the same thing. Now, I've learned to enjoy myself a little bit more and spend money on things that I want and that I know I need. I won't blow it on stupid things, but I'll buy things that are functional and things that I want to use. So, I mean, I don't know if he's being a tightwad. I think he's probably more conservative, thinking about what about down the road? If I don't have it and put away, I won't have anything. And, you know, you got to think of the future, because the future, like Willie Nelson said, I have a wonderful future behind me. It passes you up and then you have nothing. So being a little tight is one thing. Being cheap and stingy is bad. You don't want to be that. You still got to go out and spend and enjoy, but be a little tight on some things and put them away. What do you think?
I think you need to be careful with your money.
Yeah.
I think, you know, the fear of not having enough, it could come from the past.
Yeah.
Maybe someone come from not having it at all.
Right.
So the fear is, oh my gosh, what happens if I don't have it again?
Exactly.
And I understand that. So just be smart with your money. Put the money where it's safe, and then take the other part and enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
So
I agree. I agree with that one. I agree with you.
Well, great.
Okay.
We agree to agree.
Yes, we do.
Okay.
And the next?
But friendship. Even in friendship, financial matters can be an issue. So there's a couple of questions there. My friend asked if I would co-sign a car loan for him. I love him dearly. We've been friends for 10 years, but it makes me uncomfortable. What do I do?
Don't sign it. I'll tell you why. Because when you have friends and you co-sign or you loan them money, you lose your money and you lose your friendship. Because one way or another, it's not going to get paid back, or it's going to leave you off. I don't know. I did this years ago. I co-signed for a TV set for a girl I was dating. She moved away to another
no.
out of the United States, and I didn't have the TV set, and I had to pay it off. And so it was just a bad situation. So co-signing for somebody, even family members, you don't know. They're going to leave you hanging sometimes, and it's scary. And this year, they're an honorable person. I'm honorable. I borrow something, I pay it back. Some people don't. They have intention, but they get caught behind the paycheck. They don't have the money this month. They don't have the money next month. And pretty soon, I've had somebody owe me money for 4 years now that I did for training somebody. I'll never see it. I know it's not going to happen. So you got to kind of be concerned about who you're going to deal with, because good friends, they have good intentions, but I wouldn't do it.
Not only that, I mean, sometimes you sympathize with the friend, you sympathize with the family,
right?
And then you kind of feel uncomfortable to ask for that money.
Yeah.
So you kind of losing it twice.
Yeah, exactly.
You're responsible, but you're never going to get it back, and you kind of feel uncomfortable to do that.
Right.
So maybe rather not do it.
Yeah,
in
rather
the first
not do
place.
it. Exactly. What's your next question?
It's what you call tough love.
Tough love, yeah. That's the tender side of tough love.
My best friend is always asking to borrow money. She usually pays it back, and when she doesn't, I'm sure she just forgot. I'd rather just not be in that situation. How should I handle it?
Well, I would tell your friend that, we have a good friendship, but every time you ask to borrow money from me, it puts me on the defensive, because I need money too. I have my own bills to pay, and if I loan it to you and I don't have it, then I can't pay what I have to do. Then I have to go borrow from my friend, and then my friend has to go borrow from another friend, and that friend has to borrow from another friend.
But she always pays back.
Yeah, but how long does it take? That's the question.
She pays back and then she asks for more.
And asks for more. So I would find out why she needs the money, what it's going to, what kind of cause it could be going to something that it shouldn't be going to, and you don't want to support some bad habits. So I'd find out first where it's going, because it could be going to drugs or alcohol or somewhere that's not the type of place you want to put money into. Am I right?
You're right. Also with friends, you can actually sit down and educate them how to treat money, so you don't have to borrow money.
Yes.
How do you?
And you've done this.
I've done it. I've
Yeah.
helped my employees to put their finances back together, and we've gone through, paying back and checking the interest rates and where to put money first and how not to get into that big hole that you can't get out of it.
Right.
And it's a matter of educating and helping and teaching others to do the math. It's simple, actually.
Yeah. Well, if they don't know, it's good to lend a hand and help them.
Absolutely. I think that's the best help you can give them.
Exactly.
Is to teach them how to handle money.
Yeah. I like to involve, I have all my money invested in cash. That way I always have an eye on it. Are there any more questions?
No, there are no more
We
questions.
actually went through all those questions? Well, I'll be darned. Well, okay, I have a tip of the week. Keep your money where you can handle it. Now, my tip is...
Where you have control over it.
Where you have control, yeah. When you have a paycheck come in, take a certain % of that and put it away. Always put it away every week. You'd be surprised at the end of the year how much money you actually saved up. And don't dig into it. It's there, and it's there for your use if you need it in case of an emergency. Like we say, rainy days. We have one coming tomorrow. So I have money tomorrow to eat lunch just in case it does rain.
Many in California.
Yeah, it doesn't rain in California. So my tip is put your money away, spend what you need, and then if you really want something, you got the money to buy it. I want maybe a new computer, so if I have the money put away, I can go buy it. I don't have to worry about where it's going to come from.
And you don't have to borrow that money. You don't have to loan this money. You don't have to pay interest on this money. That means it's a free money.
Exactly.
It's cheap money.
It's your money. It's your money that you socked away. Thank you for watching Tough and Tender. Thank you, Ina, for being here. It's been a real pleasure.
It's a pleasure.
And I'm sure I'll probably see you later.
Yeah.
Over money. And thanks
We'll
again.
have dinner tonight.
Yeah, we'll have dinner tonight. Thank you very much for watching. And next Friday at 1 o'clock, watch Tough and Tender. Rick Drasin, Ina Tudor will be here, and we'll write in some questions so we can answer them for you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a good weekend.
Hope you enjoyed the video brought to you by Old School Labs. Use my discount code DRASIN12 on the link below at oldschoollabs.com. Hey everyone, now you can have the Gold's Gym logo drawn by me, the artist Rick Drasin, personalized and made out to you and signed by me to frame and put on your gym wall or wherever you see fit to do so. It's a piece of bodybuilding history. It will never be duplicated again. It's the largest selling icon t-shirt logo in the world, and I'm the guy that drew it, and I will draw it for you. Just go to my website, rickdrasin.com, and order there. You can pay through PayPal, and it'll be sent out right away. And be sure to watch Rick's Corner for all the videos on bodybuilding, nutrition, fitness, pro wrestling, and anything that suits your interests as far as getting physically fit and being the best you can be from the golden era of bodybuilding.
Drasin, he's the equalizer, baby. See you next time.